Soul Garden.
Hello and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. Welcome back, Rams. We are rambling through your birthday period. This week, your horoscopes are sponsored by two low-cost providers of excellent spiritual information. One, the Act 2 videos, which people tell me are hitting them right on the head, so I'm very proud to pull that one off. And our guardian agency, which is getting very sharp at texting people at just the right time. Check it out. It's only 99 cents for the first week, so you should try and see how I can help you through your week. Now, there's lots going on. This has been a bizarre year indeed. We are working on ego, and Aries are in their birthday period. And ego is one of our 12 states of awareness, one of the parts of our soul. It gets a lot of credit. You get a lot of credit in ego. Some people only live in ego, but a lot of people are still trying to build strength in ego. And in this birthday period, there has been a quantum leap, a whole new approach to the way you I am. That's what ego is. I am. What you say. When you say I am, that's your ego speaking. Anytime you say I am this and I am that, your ego is speaking, okay? Other states of awareness speak too, but I am speaks to that. Now, as we begin on Monday, we are in traffic. Planetary traffic called a grand square. Now, some people call these a grand cross, but there's nothing holy about it. This is a square. It is a traffic jam up in the stars, and the way it feels is confined and trapped on Earth. On top of that, the moon is ruling the day, and it's the culprit that causes and triggers the grand square. Why? It moves into Sagittarius, so your emotions get very philosophical. So you're probably in one of those moments where you're shooting all over yourself. I should be this way, and this should be that way, and should. Of course, that's not allowed to happen. That's also your mind contributing here with Venus and Gemini. So it's a balance between your thoughts and also your passions, your beliefs, and on the other side, between your inner faith and hardcore reality. Now, likely, it's reality that's being no fun and triggering the whole damn thing, but it could also be your emotions that are making this a problem. Let's look at a second slide that shows what states of awareness are at war here. It's your intuition versus your ego and reality, right? And this is where it is for all of Earth. Intuition versus ego. So that's fun. And then creative thinking versus emotional beliefs. So it's thinking creatively and going, you know, it could be this and it could be that, but then our emotions getting in the way and go, yeah, but it should be this and it should be that. We've all had one of those days. It's called Monday this week. Then we move to Tuesday. On Tuesday, it's bipolar happy. Jupiter rules the day. Suddenly things are good. Suddenly your emotions are philosophically good. We're out of traffic. We're moving forward. Hip, hip, hooray, right? And look at this. God gives us the finger again. Not quite the finger. I call this a diluted finger, right? A dilated finger. That's what I call it. Remember that, Chris. But nonetheless, it is because of Mercury on one hand and Uranus on the other. What the universe is saying is, particularly this week, the way to score a touchdown in your life is to strike a balance between a new ever-changing ego, personality, I am, so your I am statements are changing every day. I am this, now tomorrow I am that. All good. If it keeps changing, it's all good, and if it keeps getting better, all good. And on the other side, having faith in yourself the whole time. Holding faith and reinventing yourself at the same time. So pretty powerful stuff. Remember, Mercury is direct as of last week, and these both come from Mars retrograde, your home planet. Now, the moon is in Sagittarius, so again, you're philosophical on Tuesday, and Jupiter rules the day, so it's really a day of exploring the I am potential. Okay, let's push your I am. Let's see what else you can be. Let's open it up, as long as you have this balance between what you're saying you have faith in. So if you say I am, and there's faith faith backing the check, then go ahead and have that experience for yourself on that day. Then on Wednesday, we get crazy again. The universe bipolar is back. Look at this. Boom. Tons of fear pops up out of nowhere. Not true. This fear's been building up, actually, and it's a Uranus day. So this is really a day of breakthrough. But because we're talking about Arieses, there are Arieses that will break through here, and there are Arieses who will give up and try and start over. A lot of Arieses just start over when these things happen. So kind of hard to predict. It was hard. A lot of my messages may seem kind of dreary because I always try to coach for people who take the wrong road more than the right. Because if those of you on the right, you'll be fine. I got to focus on the ones that took the wrong road. Point is, these are fears that pop up, and you have to break through the fears, in my opinion, on Wednesday. And that's what you should do. You should just break through the fears and move forward if you can. On the one hand, this is between your intuition and your head. So your gut's telling you it's going to be okay, but your mind keeps saying other things. Bad mind. Get that mind in order. Then reality is not moving the way you want it. Mars retrograde. Your life's not moving the way you want it. There's no evidence. Your mind can't help but keep telling you that. Look, there's no evidence. Well, we can't find this. Again, I think the problem here is the mind. I think the mind is the one causing the trouble. The other big fear is Uranus versus Pluto, which hasn't happened since, square Pluto. It hasn't happened since 1929. This is basically, I think, the force that shook up and created the stock market crash. Now, I've been talking about how Uranus at 4 degrees was when it happened, but Uranus was also squaring Pluto at the time, which was actually in Cancer, the opposite. So interesting times, nonetheless, pressure building up. For you, this is the pressure between the new I am and stepping out of all of the weight and momentum of your old legacy. So something must be pulling you guys back into the old career or into the old control issues. Don't forget, this isn't just career, this is how you control your life. So maybe you know the career you want, but you're going about the wrong control way. That's the tension there. Pay attention yourself. Now, cool. If you have been watched over by the Guardian Agency, everyone loved the past life with text. I guess they hit right on the head, and I'm going to continue with that theme, looking at fears, past life fears, digging into your natal chart and seeing where fears or irrational fears have come from if you are watched over by GA. Well. Then on Thursday, an interesting, crazy spell. This is kind of a bell. This is what I call a bell. The universe is going to ring your bell. What it is an incomplete grand trine, but the moon crosses over Pluto, so emotions shift on Thursday into career legacy. So you get very emotional about this career legacy you're trying to step away from, right? And what does it do? It rattles the bell. It will rattle your soul capital, and it will rattle your daily life. So your daily life and your soul capital get rattled, hopefully in a good way, on Thursday, because you're emotionally letting go, hopefully, of the old you and the old control issues. I think that's what it is for a lot of people. Mercury rules the day, so there's a lot of processing, there's a lot of communicating, which is good. Now, don't forget, we do have assistants out there. Come to the mothership for office hours at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays or Thursdays. And right now, we're giving out cool coupon codes that gives you 15% off of any private reading from a Soulmart practitioner. So come down, come in and chat. We'll give you coupons to save money. But otherwise, come on down. We learn from each other, and it's free to the world at 11 a.m. Pacific. Hope to see you there and chat with you. I'm usually in the room there, at least for a while. Then we have Friday. Finally, it's Friday. And this Friday is going to be kind of a quirky Friday, actually a quiet Friday. Venus rules the day, so after getting your bell rung, it kind of goes back to a calm blue Venus ocean, very Hawaii kind of luau energy. And the moon is still in Capricorn around career, but suddenly we're not panicked again. So we've gone to another bipolar But this tension is building. This is the tension between your new I am and your I give, I receive. How do you balance the I am from the I give, I receive, which turns into relationships, which turns into marriage? How you I give and receive turns into all of the balancing of life. So you're having a hard time. Maybe your ego's getting big for your britches and everything else has to be updated. Not a bad thing as long as everything else fits in, right? Now, according to fitting in, how about coming down to SG Live and see how you fit into our wacky garden? We're live on Fridays at 11 a.m. with Carolyn Nagel and myself. And for the last week, our special guest, Zodiac Director Bernadette Morgan, who is going to talk about Aries and strength and share a lot of secrets. So come on down. It's always a great fun time. And we have live chat. If you can't make it, we do record it for later viewing. Then on Saturday, we have a big deal for you. I mean, it's almost time to get some popcorn. Mars goes direct. Thank goddess on Saturday. That's your home planet, so you're going to perk up. In fact, I'm wondering how things are, actually. I'll probably would text people and ask them to reply how they're doing, because it's a huge rush of aggression, masculine energy after being dormant for so long. So you're really starting to wake up out of a coma. It might be for you, a lot of you, coming out of winter hibernation. This might be like, oh, winter's finally over. Well, Mars is direct, that's why. Emotions on the weekend, emotionally will be about social life and your friends, and so as you are kind of waking up, you're feeling quite social. Maybe you finally want to get out of the house, maybe you finally want to do things, but the day is ruled by Neptune, so it's an intuitive-led day, so you're intuitively kind of led, even though you're kind of sharp at the same time, so it's fuzzy and sharp. Then Sunday, wrapping up the week, we kind of slide into home base. Saturn rules the day on Sunday, so Sunday's a day to decide, and what you're deciding is the new I am you are committing to. So Sunday, you are at the altar in your own church, making an I am commitment statement to yourself. I am this, and I commit to it. Right? And that is what an I am statement is. This is part of the peak. So strangely enough, this is the peak of the I am versus give receive. So this is the moment that this transit peaks. This is also the day that the darn yod peaks. So it's like the universe is like da da. So always like that. And at the same time, you're probably somewhere in public at that moment because the moon is in Aquarius. But it's time to decide and commit on Sunday. All right, Rams, it's great seeing you as always. Hope you're having a fab boo birthday, and I'll be back in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be.